Everyone wants to save the world. They all just disagree on how. When I heard that peak ass line, when I heard, I don't want to set the world on fire, when I heard my beloved Ink Spots hit that tune, I knew we were in for a great time, man. I can't believe how great this looks. I'm really holding out hope that this is going to deliver. It's really now about lore consistency and a good story. So we have a lot of new information. We have a brand new trailer that just hit for the Fallout TV show coming out April 11th. And yes, all of the episodes, all 8 episodes are dropping at once. Selfishly, kind of like a bummer. Like, I really wanted to be a part of like the week-to-week speculation. What's going to happen next? How did this episode go? This is the first time I think Amazon Prime has done this with their service. But nonetheless, we get to binge this entire series right away, and we'll talk about it as soon as possible. So, you know, I'll be here for that. But all 11 episodes out April 11th. Let's talk about this trailer, though. So I already mentioned that I think like the writing has some really big moments in this trailer. The music choice, fantastic. Like, to me, Fallout and I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire by the Ink Spots just are synonymous, right? Of course, my introduction was with Fallout 3, so I have some bias, but I thought this was a really cool pick. It's interesting because everything else is very OG Fallout themed, so I thought they would have picked a song really stemming back to that, but they picked I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire, and I ain't complaining. So we got a major question answered here, which was already answered by the leaks, but I knew people wanted to see it in official material, and that is about the NCR. So in the first trailer, people were freaking out, and I told people in multiple videos, calm down, they're gonna be in the show. The NCR is here. They were confirmed. As I had predicted in my in-depth analysis, the people attacking the Brotherhood of Steel base, which we now learned is at the Griffith Observatory, which is in LA. It's like this big science space center. It seems really cool. Never been personally, but it seems to be iconic, standing since, I think it's in 1937 when I was looking into it. So we get to see that reformed after the bombs have dropped. But anyways, the people attacking that base are indeed, as speculated, the NCR. Now, I wouldn't blame you if you missed this because it's just one single flag carrier in the midst of battle. So much so that people looking at the NCR probably were confused because the last time we saw the NCR was in New Vegas and they were on the up and up. The armor was looking nice and shiny. They had a strong presence in the West. In a weird way, it felt like order was being restored to some degree, at least in pockets of the wasteland. And obviously, as we know, Fallout, the TV show, takes place after Fallout New Vegas. It takes place after Fallout 4, 9 years after Fallout 4. So there's been a lot of time since then. And what we're seeing here is depicting the fall of the NCR in some way, which makes me speculate that the canonical ending for Fallout New Vegas with the battle for the Hoover Dam, the NCR did not win. We have yet to see the Legion, so I'm assuming they did not win. Perhaps we got the Yes Man ending. Who knows? But the NCR is here, which I imagine is a sigh of relief for some people. And there were a ton of callbacks beyond that to the original Fallout games. There was the Shady Sands Public Library. This was interesting because if anything depicts the real fall of the NCR, it's pretty much this. This was the capital of the NCR, and to see a giant crater where Shady Sands Public Library used to be, pretty big deal. Also, it could be a point of great frustration. There's no denying this. I'm going to say it very plainly here, but Bethesda, if you're watching this, you might want to shake this off of you for Season 2 or Fallout 5 or whatever you do next. Get rid of the Brotherhood of Steel Boner, for the love of God. I love the Brotherhood, but you're letting them run rampant everywhere, it seems like. And like now they're the kings of the West when it felt like they were the kings of the, like, what would have been more fun, I think, is if like the East was building up with the Brotherhood, as we had seen in multiple games, and the West was building up with the NCR, and it was tackling what's going on with the Legion and so on and so forth. Like, I feel that was the proper way of going about things, and then the Brotherhood and NCR facing off. I mean, you look at Fallout New Vegas, how the Brotherhood was kind of relegated to a simple bunker, and they were kind of in hiding because their ways were very rigid, very static, and they were not adapting with the times, according to how New Vegas had portrayed things. So I wish that we could see the NCR rising again, because then maybe them and the Brotherhood could face off in a more meaningful way. Perhaps that's what this season leads to. But right now, from the outside looking in at what I imagine is a trailer of the first couple episodes or so, this is, again, very Brotherhood of Steel, power-oriented. You see the Brotherhood of Steel power armor just stomping towards these individuals in ragged clothing in the NCR that are doing no damage to them. So, yeah, I hope that, you know, Bethesda and Amazon managed to shine a light on other factions and how cool they are, since I do feel like we're sleeping on a lot of that because of the little shiny power armor. But we also got a little bit more plot context. For example, it opens up with Walton Goggins' character, the Ghoul, or really before he became the Ghoul, and he's doing a little bit of a Vault-Tec promotion. There's actually one point in the trailer you see him watching on a Radiation King television set himself in what looks to be like a Western movie. So it appears he was a big star in the pre-war days, and now he's pretty much a bounty hunter, kind of almost like the Vector for the player character, because you see at one point him wandering the wastes with dog meat at his side. At least that was the connection I made to it. We did see a brand new vault in Vault 4 that was part of the promotion for Vault-Tec, so there's something to be said there. Meanwhile, we got a little bit more of a focus on Lucy in this trailer. She's the Vault Dweller character. It seems like she's on the path that most of us expected her to be on, which is that she's going from this innocent Vault Dweller, like there were lines saying, you know, the world is bigger out there than just this vault. It's dangerous, it's scary, and she talks about having a bad day at one point, and a lot of it was very, I would say, by the numbers, like what I'd expect for some innocent-looking Vault Dweller. She's all like cleaned up compared to everyone in the Wasteland. Like, it's designed to be that way, and she's going to go out there, and at the end of the trailer, you hear the line, like, there's my little killer, or something like that. She's covered in blood. So you imagine that she's going to start molding her character to the waste. She's going to have to adapt, and I think that is going to be interesting to watch unfold, albeit potentially a touch predictable. The most interesting character of the trailer, to me at least, was Maximus, our Brotherhood of Steel character. He was talking about why he joined the Brotherhood of Steel in the first place, and he said to hurt the people who hurt him. And then later in the trailer, because we see he's in the Brotherhood of Steel power armor, you see a member of the Brotherhood of Steel in power armor stomping toward the Ghoul. And I'm guessing at some point down the line, Mr. Walton Goggins did something to Mr. Maximus, thus traumatizing him. He did have like a scar on his body, so potentially something to do with that. And he wants to get revenge. And it looks like this is where he finds him. Does he succeed? Does he not? I mean, it's hard to say. Power armor looks pretty incredible in this show, like extremely powerful. It looks like they get it in this one. A lot of people always equate power armor to like a walking tank, and I think that's a good way of putting it. You're seeing, you know, the Ghoul was shooting at it, it was doing nothing. You see when the NCR was raiding the Griffith Observatory, it was really doing nothing to the power armor. We did see that the Yao Guai was putting up a good fight though, which again, a little bit of that Fallout humor in there, the crazy creature combinations and who you'll fight, you know, getting into fisticuffs with the Yao Guai. You love to see that. There was also Codsworth. That was great to see. So he's going to be in the show. I loved his little quick appearance. There's also some cheeky nods I picked up on to the Vault-Tec imagery. You know, specifically, I think of, it wasn't exact. I think of like the Vault-Tec workshop imagery when this woman was giving the thumbs up, you know, especially with like the wrench over the shoulder and the thumbs up. It just reminded me of that classic Vault-Tec imagery. And I imagine that was intentional because it just looked so well placed, especially when the one character doing it had the blonde hair. Like, it's just it seemed like the perfect fit right then and there. We do see other unique Fallout props that you'd come to expect in this world. We get our first look at a stim pack. We get our first look at the Vault-Tec bobbleheads. I wonder if like they do a little cheeky nod there and have like Lucy start collecting them. That would be kind of funny, I think. We also got a look at the fully mutated axolotl. Like, we saw the face of it, if you will, and when it screeched at the character in the first trailer, but we got like a full body look at it this time, and this thing looks terrifying. So overall, my thoughts on this trailer with all that, those highlights covered, is I'm excited. You know, I think that answered a lot of my concerns. I really wanted to see the NCR. Knowing how they're being portrayed has me interested, but to see how it plays out is the more important part to me, because right now they're making them look very weak, trying to punch up against the Brotherhood of Steel, and I hope they make them into a powerful faction. I hope they don't just stomp them out and then introduce a new one, which I could totally see that going that way. Like, you stomp out the NCR, but then here comes the Legion for season 2. I'm curious to see how they also explain the rise of the Brotherhood in the West from where they were in New Vegas to what's happening in Fallout 4, and then how they expand again in the West and they have that presence. Like, there was one point we saw a bunch of vertibirds flying into combat. Like, it was a full armed assault. So I'm just wondering what the mission is. We know they're after some sort of serum, a serum that it looks like the ghoul has his hands on. He's kind of fiddling with it at one point. He's drinking something toward the end of the trailer. So yeah, there's a lot of question marks ultimately, and I feel like this trailer was of the first couple episodes, so we'll see what answers we get down the stretch. But right now, yeah, big concern would be NCR handling. Otherwise, when it comes to props and story, definitely looks good, definitely intrigued, and yeah, count me on board. I'll be watching the whole series in a single day when it drops on April 11th. So those are my thoughts. I'm looking forward to seeing yours down below. Please do fire away. With that, take excellent care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.